on.
Hey, we got Bobby twice.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on two different
I
devices.
pulled it up on my computer screen so I could see it big, see everything.
Okay, so you're back on.
He's just flexing his importantness.
That's right.
Right.
All right, but yeah, basically, I watched it down at Disney. The 6x6 ring is the way that everyone else uses it. It is very fast paced. The bigger ring, allowing the athletes to get further away, is going to take up more time because we're running with a 1 round, 2 minute running clock. So this is how all the other organizations are doing it, and watching it in action. This is why I propose.
I think that Mr. Ballin had a concern.
It's difficult to set up a dedicated 6x6 ring if we were normally doing 7x7, even if we use the out of bounds as the 6x6, our centers are only 5x5. So we can't expect a local district to dedicate a 6x6 ring just for point scoring, and majority of the districts are probably, the point scoring numbers probably don't even warrant that. But how would you suggest that we dedicate a 6x6 ring and not use it for other events?
No, you normally do you run a 7 or do you run an 8?
7.
All right, so you set up your 7x7 ring. You just have to turn over the pads on 2 sides.
That would leave 5x5 in the center.
No, only on 2 sides. That would still make it 6x6.
Would either of you accept a friendly amendment to only implement this ring size at a national event? Because I think it would be a little bit of overhead to do the local events to.
I don't mind, but we try to get the athletes prepared for nationals by doing the same thing locally. And again, I think you're going to find, I mean, it's fine with me, but you will find your ring slows it down, and it's a lot of wasted clock if you give them more room to run around.
It's not the rule, it's more the logistics of how to make a 7x7, 6x6. If you take the outside perimeter and make it, let's say, red and the rest are blue, it's 5x5, not 6x6.
So you set your ring up 7x7. Let's say the whole thing is blue. You only have to do color over on 2 sides. That's going to give you a 6x6 solid blue ring. Then when you're done with point,
Top and bottom, Kevin.
Oh, top and bottom.
Top and bottom, not side to side and top to top, bottom.
you do
Side to
one
bottom.
side and top. You
I
turn
don't-
it over, and now you have a 6x6. So everybody
I don't-
Going to be for
those
people
red
that
sides are out of bounds.
Okay. One at a time. Mr. Leader.
I don't understand the problem, Kevin. In the proposal, 3.A.2.B, says regional district events, 7x7. It's already there for you.
No, that's for Olympic or all other. Read right above it, 3A2. All other types of competition will be a minimum as follows. The point sparring needs to be 6x6 across the board.
Can I just, again, I think Joe has probably the correct, we need to get it switched for nationals, which is not a problem. There's 100 different ways people can do this at the district level, but people are either going to do it or they're not going to do it. There's not much this body can really do about that. So the rule needs to pass. So I think that if we just put national events like we've always done, even with Olympic, it makes it a simple thing, but that's just my suggestion.
Add onto the bottom line, where it says tournament directors have the option to use an octagonal ring and vary the size.
Yeah, we can amend
Right.
A3.
That makes sense.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, that's better.
Local events may use other size rings
Wait a minute.
or
That
optional.
makes sense.
We don't want to go smaller, but
Right.
have the option of using a larger ring.
Or larger ring.
I'd allow them to use whatever size rings they want. It's a district. They should be able to do what they want.
Yeah,
As
so we
far as
just
that goes.
amend 3A3 and that'll cover it.
I know some were using 6x6 because of their size of their facility anyway.
And we can just indicate that the qualifier that, hey, we're using a 7x7,
guys.
however, for national 6x6.
I can't write a whole book here.
Right.
I need to know how you want the rule to read.
Okay, this is what I would put on my proposal. 3A3 currently reads, tournament directors have the option to use an octagon ring or a larger size ring. No? David?
Any size.
All right.
Just
Well,
make
we
it
don't
any
need
size.
We've
What if
always
they want to?
going down to a 4x4 ring or 3x3 or
What if they're little bitty kids and they want to use a 5x5 or something?
Well, we currently have a 7x7 for Olympic. Why don't we just leave it at 7x7? Give them the option to use either a 6x6 or an octagon or a 7x7.
or just put any size ring. I don't care. Tournaments where they use a 5x5. So
Just a thought at a local level. What about, I mean, the limitation of actual space, right? If you're using
Right.
3
Yeah.
or 4 rings,
any size ring.
yeah.
To
There you go. I agree with that.
In our qualifier, we got all 7x7s and we move people around.
Yeah, but you've got more space than some.
Now, I've been to some with smaller, so just change it to 3A3 at the end of that, or any size ring at tournament director's discretion or whatever.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That sounds good.
Okay, so it looks like we're all in agreement on that. Now I got to figure out how to do this because I've got polling set up. So hold on, I want to see, stop sharing.
Yeah, you don't need to share, Pat. We've all got it in front of us.
No. This is the polling. So I am going to launch polling and you're going to get a screen. Mr. Turnbull, can you give me video? Mr. Turnbull?
You have to see him.
Well, I would like to see him to know that he's there, but he's
Maybe
also, he's muted and there's no audio or no video, no audio, no video. So
maybe he's naked.
Joining from work.
You got your shorts on, leader?
You're wearing pants.
okay, there he is.
Loud. I'm at work right now, and if we're kind of loud, I didn't want to distract you guys.
Okay, well you can
Here,
turn
I'm
your
listening.
audio off. I mean, you can turn your video off, but leave your audio on so I just know you're there.
Yeah, okay.
Now you dropped out of video again. All right, so the way it works is I would have to get on another device to vote because the host can't vote. So I'd have to be logged on, and I'm not doing that. If it's a tie vote, I'll verbally give my vote. So I am launching proposal number 1, which says point sparring. Ring size dimensions for point sparring should be accepted as outlined in proposal 1, and I am going to add to that. Oh, I wonder how I can do that. I don't know if I can edit this.
You just tell us you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will
We
edit it
trust you.
to add or any size ring, a tournament director's discretion.
Yeah, we trust you, Pat.
100% of any-
Oh, technically, I'm not supposed to be voting, but I voted.
Oh, you are voting. You have a vote as the
We can't count on you to
Top 10.
follow the rules for nothing, bro.
you
Yeah,
have a
and
vote
you
as
have-
top 10, Mr. Stone.
And you have 2 devices.
Yeah, we all see you,
devices.
Mr. Stone. We all, and it's being recorded, Mr. Stone.
I was
Please, Pat.
scratching my nose. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Pat, it's not me breaking rules
Who are
again.
you voting, Bobby? Because you got 2 screens up.
Well, he's voting twice, huh?
Okay, why does it say 11?
Bobby's across
Hey,
here.
I learn.
Okay, why does it say 11 people have voted, but it's 100%? There should be 15.
Did Bobby vote on both his machines?
I did not. I only voted once.
Of course not.
He'd have to move to Chicago.
Oh, we should have 15 to be 100%. Now I'm at 12, 13.
So that's enough.
Voting yet.
That's enough. Let's move on.
It's like 2 people haven't voted. Okay.
They'll
Damn
be
it, Bobby,
okay.
second screen.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Mr. Turnbull, have you voted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to end it even though it looks like,
Well, Bobby's got 2 screens, so.
well,
he's going
just
to-
one because I can't vote. So there's just, looks like one person hasn't, their vote didn't go through. Okay.
They
So
should
we're
have
gonna
had
end that.
15 votes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I can share the results with you guys so you can see them
Excellent.
and we will
Love
move
technology.
on.
You're so high tech, man. Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have made you co-host.
No, he said a cheerleading thing. That wouldn't work.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so
Don't even talk about
this next one,
cheerleading.
this next one is mine, and farther down, there's another proposal that applies the same thing to Olympic sparring. And it basically is just removing the part that says that nothing can be worn underneath the headgear except for religious headwear. I mean, I've got a lot of people that ask me all the time, including one in my own school. He wears a do-rag all the time because he sweats so bad. I've got people that want to wear headbands so sweat doesn't run in their eyes. So I just propose that we get rid of that. I'm not sure. I know it's an international thing, but yes, Mr. Leader.
Okay, I'm against this change
Okay.
because number one, on point sparring, the matches are going to be so short now that they're not going to have a big deal to spar. And that's one more thing we have to be the police of, the referees. And then
I don't
also,
understand. What are you policing?
well, what are you going to allow them to wear on their head? What are you going to allow them?
Anything they
Okay.
want underneath that headgear.
And this is the problem I have with this proposal is it says anything. Now, they could have something that was offensive, something that was
It's under their
inappropriate.
headgear.
But as long as it's completely under and hidden and you can't see it, okay, but that doesn't necessarily work. I mean, if that's the rule, if it cannot be seen underneath the headgear, then I don't have a problem with it.
Well, no, that doesn't work because they come into the ring with their headgear under their arm.
Right, and if it's something offensive or something that's inappropriate,
But that applies to
it
their
says it's
Give me
okay.
give me a way to amend it that we can still allow them to wear something to keep the sweat from running into their eyes.
Single color, no words.
Headband.
Headband, but it has to be a
Headband.
single color. It
A
cannot have,
headband is just like this. That doesn't cover a do-rag, and that's what a lot of guys wear is a do-rag.
if they wanted to have a do-rag, it needs to be a single color, black, white, whatever color, who cares, no writing on it.
Okay.
Okay, how
Just
about
no writing.
bling?
Wow.
Non-offensive headband, head, whatever that other word needs to be, but I don't think we want to put
Inappropriate.
colors. That's got 3, that's got 1.
Yeah, because you got a lot of people that wear the American flag, the Stars and Stripes,
That's fine. I'm
whatever.
just saying is we just got to make sure that we can control it and said, if it's inappropriate and that's at the center official's discretion, they can't wear it.
Well, that already applies to their gear.
Right.
I'm just saying is that if I read this, it says anything I can wear underneath it, so.
Yes, Mr. Leader.
Okay, I'm gonna get a do-rag and it's gonna be all blinged out. What are you gonna do about that?
It's going to be what?
Asked you where you got it.
Could you just
All blinged out with, beads and whatever else.
Bedazzled.
Blinged.
Bedazzled.
Oh, blinged. Okay.
Yeah, bedazzled or whatever they call it. Y'all are just opening up a
No,
can of
because
worms
we've
that the
already
referee.
said you can't. We've already said you can't wear metallic objects.
Yeah, that's already in there. You can't
It's
wear anything
already in there.
metallic.
Okay, the bling's not metallic. They're plastic and they're hard.
Yeah,
But
it says no hard objects.
Right. We already have that in there. Yeah,
Can we just add to allow a sweatband can be worn on the head? And a sweatband is a defined athletic, single color type of thing. And if they don't like, if they want to keep the sweat out of their eyes, they'll buy the sweatband. They'll get, they don't have to use the do-rag.
Yeah, but guys don't wear sweatbands as much as do-rags. Yes, Mr. Leader?
Well, I mean, if they want to keep the sweat out of our eyes, that's easily defined. And it's a standard item that you can look at and say, that is not a sweatband.
Okay, my last thing.
Mr. Beach.
Oh, yes. I don't see a problem as it is exactly the way it is. We just, we're beating this up, but it's a common sense thing. If anybody comes in with something that's metallic or hard, it's already in the rule to take care of that. If they come in there with something that's offensive, we can penalize them for it because they're violating the rules there. I just think let it ride as it is. I don't see a problem with it.
Mr. Leader.
Okay, my last against it is now, if you don't pass the one for the Olympic, which if you go past the one for the Olympic, then you're going away from what we're trying to do to be consistent with the WT and everything. So now you're going to have different. Or how about for forms? Are they going to wear headbands and everything for forms now also? So
They already do.
Can I just say something as, on the administrator side here? If there's something that's black and white and then we're going to turn it into gray, it's just a royal pain in the ass. If there's some way to put something in, I understand what we're trying to do here, but
all right.
David and Larry, do you get complaints about this on the floor?
I do not.
David?
I haven't had a complaint because I haven't seen anybody wearing them, but I guarantee you we will.
But they
Again,
wear them all the time.
if you change
Well,
something,
currently we can't. We can't wear them, guys.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If you change something that's black and white to gray, and even this group, which is pretty articulate and in the rules can't get it, then probably we ought to leave it alone.
Okay,
That's just my opinion.
I am withdrawing this proposal because it's getting way more complicated than I saw coming, because I just didn't see why it should be a big issue for somebody to wear something on their head. I personally don't see anybody's going to come out with anything written offensive any more than they come out with something written offensive on their dobok, which they can write anything they want on their dobok. We don't tell them what they can write. So I am withdrawing this one and the one for Olympic sparring. Moving on. Mr. Turnbull.
Yes, ma'am.
You're up next.
So this proposal kind of mimics what NASCAR does. It's a 10-second timeout that you get one per match. The only time you can actually call a timeout is when there is a break to call for a point or an infraction. You cannot just call time in the middle of somebody kicking. It would be once the referee has stopped the match, you raise your hand and say time, and you're granted a 10-second timeout where your athlete can come over to you and you can coach at that point. It would be one per match.
Anybody against this proposal?
Okay, I just have one question.
Yes, sir.
With the overall grand champions, where they're going actually to the 2 rounds, it's still one per match?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they don't get another one in the second round?
No, sir.
Okay.
And it is a pretty good strategy. It's usually used like the last 30 seconds of the fight, last 20 seconds when it's a close fight, or your athlete's down by a couple and then you need to change up the strategy a little bit. So they usually hang on to those at the very end of the fight itself.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, I'm going to pull up the polling on this one. Let's see. Okay, so this is proposal number 3 that you are voting on. Should the coach be allowed 10-second timeout and point sparring?
Hey, Pat, I think when you see the 100% earlier, 100% of the people voted yes. That's what the 100% was.
I got you. We had 1 no vote and 13 yeses. Okay. Results. Okay. Okay, proposal number 4, Mr. Beach, you're up.
All right, proposal is to remove flailing as an infraction in point sparring. And David and I have discussed this at length. He was actually the first questioned it, and it made absolute sense. It kills me to say that, but it does. Comes through with a back fist, and they do it more than twice. We call that flailing, and we penalize them. Well, the first time they hit, that was a score. The second time they hit, that was a score. And if the judges were really good, they would have already keyed up and the score would have been posted. So the flailing thing, I get why it came in a long time ago, but it's still a legal part of the body, touching a legal part for scoring to the head. The fact that they do it multiple times, I don't think is an issue, and it gets very hard to monitor in the fact that, again, the first 2 times they hit, technically it was a score. So I just want to remove it as a infraction in point sparring.
Anybody want to discuss against it?
I hate this.
What?
I've always hated the flailing.
Oh, you hate the actual penalty, not the proposal. Okay.
Correct, yes, the penalty.
I thought you hated the person that submitted it the first time.
Oh, geez.
McCluskey.
You voted on it.
Hey,
I voted against it, I'm pretty sure.
that was before my time, though, so, you know.
When we did it, it needed it at that time. That's all.
Yeah.
Time's moved on.
Okay.
I agree with the rules change.
Proposal number 4, should flailing penalty be removed from point sparring? Okay. I don't know why we're missing 1. Oh, there we go.
Peer pressure.
All right, so we are at next proposal, which was mine, and I would do that, and I'm withdrawing this one.
So you don't want to just say headband, sweatband, because then they have the opportunity.
Nope. Nope, because I'm sure that Mr. Leader will have a problem with that too, so.
Ooh.
You remember
Proposal number 6, Mr. Leader.
We should all vote no because he didn't like yours, so.
That's right. We used to have a thing where the judges could vote for Wissahickok and Golden Round, which almost never happens anymore. We used to have it where they could use controllers. This doesn't work for the Dado and KPMP software. It only worked for the GUS, which pretty much no one's using for Olympic any longer. I think that needs to be taken out, and then the referee needs to be added in to the voting process. When you have 2 judges, he has to be added in.
Right.
And so therefore you add him in when there's 3 judges also, and he gets 2 votes just like he used to. And this matches up with WT rules. That's all I got to say about that.
Anybody want to talk against this proposal?
I just have a question. I must have missed it in here, but where does it say that the referee will get 2 votes? That was my only concern.
Well, it doesn't say it in there, but it's known that he does. I don't know if it was ever in the rule book that said he got 2 votes or not, but
Never.
yeah.
I think it was always meant that if there was a tie and the center judge vote breaks the tie.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
if
what
it,
used to be in there. That's what it
well,
was.
well, was that in there? I don't remember.
Yeah, it used to
Yes.
be that if there was a tie, the center
Yeah.
referee's vote broke the tie,
Okay. If we
which is
want to put,
fine, which is, I think,
Yeah.
we've always had that. We don't need to
If-
have that in the rule book, so.
if we did put it in there, it would probably be under C5, I guess. At the end of that sentence, the referee would break the tie.
I would like to see that. I would prefer that amended, be in there, because then you don't have any questions. You can point to it in the rule book if somebody says, how come the referee got 2 votes or whatever.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any problems with adding that sentence to
No,
C5?
the referee's
Tell me.
vote breaks the tie.
Yeah.
Tell me how you want it amended, Mr. Leader.
The referee's vote breaks tie. And,
Breaks any tie. Yeah.
Want that, C5?
C.5.
Okay. The referee,
I don't know why it's C5, but whatever.
well, that's what you said originally. Is that not what you wanted?
Yeah, that's where it would
No.
go.
That's where it goes.
Yeah, because that's the one that talks about being tied.
Right.
Okay. All right, so this one will be, any other discussion on this one? Okay, so this next proposal will be, oh, never mind, hold on.
Sneaking it in.
Vote on this one now.
I'm voting no on that one.
Yeah, don't anybody vote yes. Come on, how do I get out of this?
Do we just all
Mr.
vote no? You just want us to all vote no?
Yeah, you can, because I'm just gonna end the polling. Hold
Oh,
on.
okay.
6.
Can we vote by mail?
No.
Yeah.
Should Olympic be included in, should the referee be included in Wusikidak calls with amendment that says the
I
referee
don't
breaks
vote?
a tie? One more, waiting on one more. Oh. I have 13. Oh, there's the 14, okay. Okay. All right, and the last proposal, Mr. Leader, is yours also.
Pat, your audio just went
When you
down.
talk away from your computer, it doesn't work.
Okay. Mr. Leader, you're up.
Okay. For video review, we started using back last year at the team trials. It worked really good. The way we set it up, we don't allow everything that the WT does, and I don't know that we ever will, but even the WT, when they first started, they allowed limited things, and then they added more as time went on, and referees and everybody got used to it. So I propose to add one more thing that the coach can challenge, and that's the removal of points from his own player, because that's a pretty big deal to lose points because the referee called holding, let's say, and the guy, he thought the guy was holding when he kicked to the head. So not only does he get, the gom-john and loses a point basically to the other player there, now he loses 3 more. So he ought to be able to challenge something major like this. And dang it, I hate to say it, but this was actually Larry Beach's idea.
Well, so I have a question, Mr. Leader.
Yes.
So we can change things from the Olympic sparring rules?
What do you mean? Different from the WT?
Yes.
We've always been able to do that.
Okay,
That's correct.
just my question.
Oh,
Just my question, sir. Just my question.
I like that.
Point of clarification.
Mr. Beach.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, I know where you're going with that.
All right. David, you there?
Larry?
Okay. So holding or grabbing is not a challengeable penalty, right? So I grab you and I hold you and I kick you in the head. I get penalized, my points get removed. But my coach felt I wasn't holding. So that has to go to IVR. The IVR shows that I wasn't holding, so I can get my 3 points back. But the Gamjan's still going to remain.
In that case, it's going to have to be taken away because you have to have a reason for giving the points back.
So they technically still can't challenge these other penalties, but if their points were removed, then we're giving them an end to actually challenging anything when points are removed.
That's correct.
Do you need to amend that, sir?
No, it's pretty
Okay, okay.
That is not have to be written. That's a, what do we call it before? An interpretation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Guideline.
Guideline.
Any other discussion on adding this?
This is only with the IVR, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Just one question. They only get so many IVR requests, right?
One, as long as there's video replay. If
Right,
there's not
so-
video replay, then they get 2, but they can't, let's see, can they question these?
Questioning a removal of points, if we say that's
Yeah.
fine, okay, but they only can do it so many times, right?
Well,
And that
if I
this
win-
counts as one of them.
No,
No.
if they're correct, they get the card back.
Right.
Okay, as long as they got
Right.
their card,
Right,
they
do
can
it
keep
again.
challenging. But if
Right.
they're wrong, the referee keeps the card and they can't challenge
Okay.
anything
All right.
anymore.
I just want to make sure that was changed.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Any other discussion? Okay. Okay, so allowing challenge removal of points when using IVR. One more, waiting on. Come on, 14th person.
But David, the dog get a vote too?
Okay, well, I'm gonna call it even though I only have 13 people.
Needs his own device.
My dog's been voting the whole time.
All right. Okay, so that's the end of the rule changes. Mr. Stone, do you want to go over the policy changes or do you just want to let them read them? They've all got copies of it.
If anybody has questions about them, I mean, I'm happy to address policy changes. If you have questions, I mean, they're voted on by executive committee and everybody in that group. Yes, Mr. Leader.
I think that this vice chair guy, you need to put in there about his thing. If you get assassinated, he takes over.
I don't need to put any more targets on my head. But or encouragement, I should say. But did anybody have any? Did everybody read through them?
Yeah.
Again, you know, these were all done in the vein that this is stuff that typically is not controversial. It's just stuff that we need to get done, and you know, I'm always happy to discuss any of those things.
House
But,
cleaning.
this is much more housekeeping. Real briefly, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what is happening with nationals and whatnot, and so I'll address it really quickly. I literally spend, I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes every day talking to somebody at AAU who's talking to somebody at Disney to, you know, something. So the date will be moved. If you haven't heard that yet, I'm just trying to find out the exact date. The date is being moved because of the NBA, not anything else. And the reality is the NBA is spending a lot of money, and we go in there for free. There's not anything I can do about that. And
But still only that 1 week though, right? It hasn't changed again.
I don't know. I don't know. I see your face, and you've been the one I've been worried about the whole time. Don't worry. I'll
We
have a
all
private
worry
conversation.
about you, John.
Yeah,
I know you're going to be in sandals the weekend after, right?
I leave on the 22nd to go to Jamaica for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Are they
So-
letting you in?
Well, currently, that could change.
Yeah. So, and there, of course, there are the issues that are out here in the public world. And whenever I do get the dates, you know, and some people might not be able to make it or whatever, whenever I do get a date, which I just still haven't gotten, I've gotten options, and I'm trying to choose the best one. But whenever I get that date, I will release a statement also saying that, you know, again, we're continuing to monitor the situation everywhere, and that 3 weeks prior is when we'll let everybody know for sure it's a go. It's not. Everybody's being, all the airlines are being super accommodating, hotels, everything, and we'll make sure that goes. I want people to have full confidence, and you know, the situation is so nonstop changing that, you know, Florida can be exploding right now, and by the time September 1st hits, you know, nobody, you know, it could be done. We just don't know. Nobody knows.
I think the other thing, Bobby, the other thing you need to look at is, from a business perspective, is look how many people you actually think are going to show.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you need to make a decision on whether or not it's worth having, because, you know, you got planes, you got hotels, you got stipends, you got everything else. And if you don't get enough people, we're going to lose money on the deal.
Yeah. I will say this, at this point, for every one person that seems concerned, I have 50 people that want us to have it. So I don't know right now. The reason to go to Disney is because there's zero to no expense on the venue side and whatnot. And I think we won't even really know about, you know, how it will look. That 3 weeks out will be a really good indicator. And
As long as you have the ability to, at 3 weeks, say, you know what, this isn't going to work for us business-wise, let alone COVID, you can make the decision that says it's not going to happen.
Let me ask you guys, are any of you guys sparring in your classes yet?
In team, we are. Competitive teams are.
Mr. Ballard said they're
Same
going to
here.
let him spar
Team only.
outside.
Doing sword sparring.
Mr. Turnbull, are you still having your tournament?
I'm making a decision this week. I've had, I mean, you guys know from the news, Florida's crazy, Texas is crazy. A lot of the schools are probably at about 70% of capacity of their students. People just quit or not coming. Right now, I just checked, I have 40 people registered for the event. On a normal year, I would have about 160 to 170 right now. So I'm only at 40 people registered.
There's 8/1. Is that when you're scheduled?
8/8.
8/8. Okay.
And I know volleyball is running a big event there this week, last week, and then this week. I think they have about 350 to 400 teams. You know, again, everything is up in the air right this second. I'm not making any, you know, statement other than I think it's good for us to continue to plan. We've planned so where, you know, if we don't have it, it won't be wonderful, but it's not going to take us out or anything, but it just will be, it'll be, you know, breathing above water, so to speak, until we get to next year. But, you know, if we can do something, then we will. I know there's a big group of the community that want something to happen. You know, the later we can push it may be a good thing. Again, I don't know anything. You will know before. I plan to have a district chair call before I make any kind of announcements, but since we were all on here, I just thought I'd speak to you about it. If you have any questions or concerns right now, you're certainly, you know, shout them out at me. But it's literally a daily, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not working on it or trying to get something done.
Bobby, Dave Sklar just had a Zoom tournament from all over the world. He had about 350 athletes participate in board breaking and forms. Is pretty good success.
Yeah, well, we've got some secondary plans that I know Ryan and Joe had already started working on, and we've talked about them. We do have some alternates. I think in the next couple of weeks, we will continue to plan that stuff. And if it looks like it's going the wrong way, then we'll do some things. Did he charge?
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
Well, I know there are lots of
Yes.
people that are doing free things. These
How did they give out awards?
Right when the division was over with, you were awarded, and they would send you a copy of a certificate. Like you got first place, second place, third place. I believe he charged $50, and he had officials on there. He paid the officials, and it's pretty good.
Was it live?
Yeah, it was live. Yeah.
Mm.
I wonder what
Yeah,
platform
people-
he used.
The only thing, Bobby, the guy that helped run it was the guy from Uventex, the guy, the French guy that we met up in
I got a
Chicago.
lot of words in French for him.
Yeah, he's the guy that's been doing it, but there's probably some other options out there.
Powerade is doing their state games the same way.
Eric Kwok is still having his qualifier without sparring. He's running all the breaking forms, weapons. Running all
Without question, there is multiple ways to do this and do things. It's like everything. It's a question of timing and the unknown right now. And I don't want to try to put a virtual thing out if the other thing goes. But I'm again, executive committee will be planning, making some plans on, if we can't do something regular, that a virtual thing can be announced. I know that USAT is doing a virtual Sport Poomsae thing, and Sport Poomsae would be the easiest thing to do virtually, right? I mean, really the easiest thing, because it's so sort of specific and technical, and it's the easiest thing to do, and also it takes that time constraint that it's murderous away.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, we do have our first Kenny Quick is going to be running with Pat this weekend. The first AAU Sport Poomsae clinic. It's really going to be for people that's already certified for it, but I think there's about 14, 15 people signed up right now. When
you say people that are already certified for it, what do you mean? People that already hold?
I'm sorry, I misspoke a little bit. People that are already involved in it. Let's put it that way. People that
Okay, because I was going to say, most of the people that were signed up for it are not certified Sport Poomsae officials.
Okay, yeah, I'm the people that will be helping us with it will be certified already. This is for people that are interested in our program, which is, small number, but it's something to start with, because we got to get to where we have our own if we're going to continue to do it. And then we have our own set of rules that Kenny has worked on to make this process much, much, much shorter. So.
And less referee intensive, I hope.
Yes, we're going to do 3 referees.
Yeah.
With a total of 5, which is 1 judge, 1 behind the table, 3 calling forms. And then we're basically going to skip some of the middle parts, that they have 30, they go 30 to 15 to 12 to 8 to 4 every time starting over. We're going to skip the 12 to 15 to, and go to 4.
Gotcha.
We'll see. Either people will love it or hate it, but it is what it is.
All right. Anybody else have any more discussion? Nothing else to say? I will get these rules posted and we'll get them put onto the website. I guess, when do you want them put up on the website? The year doesn't start until September, so I've got 2 months to put it all together.
Oh, you want earlier? Teams are training.
September, first day that it's ready.
I'm sorry?
None of these rules would apply if we had nationals. That's correct, right?
Correct.
That is correct.
Right.
So I don't know that we may want to hold them until the day after, the week after nationals.
Nationals. Okay, I can do that. Well, what about the ring size, Mr. Beach? Mr. Beach not here?
He's there.
Oh, there he is.
Unmuted.
All right, what'd you say?
I said, what about the ring sizes? Are we going to use the 6x6 ring sizes at nationals?
At nationals and do a 6x6.
Okay, but that won't make it. That would be okay. I'll wait until right after the nationals, or whenever you tell me to let it go.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Hope you're all well.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, take it easy.
All right.